Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Billy Nash, episode 17. Wow. And it's right at the end of the first quarter. Well, that went quick. 90 days in, 2023. How's your year looking? So I figured today we'd recap what's going on in the market, real estate market, how your business is doing for the first 90 days, any initiatives that you started that could help your business. Listen, at the end of the day, if you did anything bad over the last 90 days, everybody does bad shit every once in a while, correct it, right? And on the good stuff, highlight it, right? And if there's something that you need to adjust for your business over the last 90 days, adjust it, right? So there's a lot of stuff happening, right? I think the banking crisis that started a couple of weeks ago, probably about 3 weeks ago, is starting to calm down a little bit. Over the last couple of podcasts, we talked about what's going on in the marketplace. We talked about rising interest rates, but I do have a thought on, first we'll kind of tackle interest rates in the Fed. We did get another quarter point rate hike last week. A lot of people said it was a controversial rate hike, but inflation is still running hot. But I think what's happened in the banking system with SVB Bank and Credit Suisse overseas, which, by the way, they blamed this California bank for their troubles, which was, what a joke that is. But what I'm sensing is that the Fed will continue to raise rates, maybe at a slower pace, because I do think what's happened over the last 2 or 3 weeks is going to have a major effect on the lending side of the business for real estate. And I think that you're going to see more of a quieting of the noise that we've heard over the last 3 weeks. So I do think that rates will continue to go up, but I'm pretty confident in this guesstimate that next year, 2024, we will start to see interest rates come down. And I do think we could be on the verge of a recession. And I don't think it's going to be a deep recession. It may be light. And here's one thing that you have to remember, in your business. Sometimes you're in a recession, and then when you say you feel it, you're already coming out of it. And that happens in the market because it's a lagging effect, So, we could be starting in the beginning of things pulling back. Look at, I think summer travel will be affected this summer. And I think all these things will affect, and, you'll see in earnings in the third and the fourth quarter. And I do think people that are buying real estate are definitely feeling a little bit more hesitant about pulling the trigger. I do think that we are definitely in now a buyer's market. So if you have a buyer and they are looking to make an offer, make it. Because I do think that there is a opportunity in the market for those buyers, because the sellers may have exhausted their unrealistic pricing for the last 6 months, and maybe reality now is setting in. And also what we've went through in the last 3 weeks, psychologically, I think helps move along deals to consummate. And also we're going into the spring and the summer, which is typically in our market in Florida. It was a very seasonal market because in the luxury real estate side, pretty much everybody goes to the Hamptons, they go to Europe, they go wherever they might go, but they get out of Dodge before the end of May because the temperature here gets pretty brutal. I mean, humidity that you could cut with a knife. So everybody kind of hits the road. So seasonality is coming back to the South Florida market, no doubt. But let's look back to the last 90 days. Look back at your business. What did you do? Did you do something that made, that helped your business? Did you do something that hurt your business? Did you adjust something in your business, right? Because this is the perfect week to now look back on those last 90 days, right? And I'm big on accountability. And I don't care if you have people that work with you on your team, right? But have accountability for yourself, right? What did you do in the last 90 days that either helped or hurt your business? Write them down, right? You need to adjust. There's lots of things that are happening. We got a lot of shifts in the market. You got great opportunities. A lot of realtors are dropping out like flies, which is great for the ones that have staying power, that are focused, that are running a real business, right? Accountability is critical. So have accountability for yourself. not only for the people that work around you. And guess what? It'll help you in the long run. Always be accountable for your actions, right? Good and bad. And if you did something good and something that you're very proud of in the first quarter of 2023, well, guess what? You should highlight it. Go out, treat yourself to something, right? It's not all about just the grind and the work and not enjoying yourself. If you did something that you're proud of in the last 90 days in your business, right? And it doesn't even have to be a closed transaction, right? Well, pat yourself on the back, right? Maybe put it out on social media and be proud of it. You're not bragging. And we've talked about this before. It's not bragging. It's not pounding your chest. It's saying you're acknowledging something that you've worked hard on and you've seen it to fruition. And at the end of the day, it makes you proud, right? It makes you proud. So put it out there, right? I'm a big believer in that, right? So if you did something that makes sense for your business and you were successful at it, whether it's a deal, a new marketing initiative, something with your brand, well, be proud of it and showcase it, right? Be proud of your accomplishments. And it doesn't have to be always monetarily, right? It doesn't have to be like, I got a big check. I'm proud of my check, right? Be proud of other things, right? Maybe you went to a nonprofit organization and you helped out, right? You made a donation or you volunteered for something in your community. Well, guess what? That's something to be proud of. And in your business, it's something that your clients will look at and appreciate. It's not only always about just closing the deal. Guess what? Get out in your community and do something positive, right? And good things happen. I've said this a while back, right? It's like throwing a piece of bread into the wind into a lake, right? Throw the bread out there, the lake's blowing the wind back at you. What happens? It breaks up into little pieces and it comes back in multiple pieces. So the good you put out will come back tenfold. And remember that, right? So in the first quarter, look back at your accomplishments, good and bad, right? And make the adjustments and look forward to the next quarter. And one of the things that I always talk about is don't dwell on stuff that might bring you down, right? People dwell on shit. Move on. Don't dwell, right? Dwell on the good stuff, not the bad stuff. So make the adjustments needed, right? And have an amazing 2023 second quarter, right? And get involved in your community. Those things help your business, but it also helps your soul, right? It's good. It's good karma. You put it out. You take care of people. You help other agents, right? That's the way you run a good business. So it looks like the banking crisis is starting to settle down, which is a good thing. I think that what's happening in the market, in the real estate market, adjusting is a good thing. And I think if you stay focused and stay the course, your business will continue to be successful. Don't get distracted by negativity. And it's important because there's a lot of negative shit out there right now. Don't get distracted. The headlines are coming at you full force, gloom and doom. And guess what? Look at it as the glass is half empty, right? And not half full. And that's the way I always think about things, right? There's always, every negative creates a positive, right? So all those negative headlines and the negative agents that might be in your office, other brokers, my business is down. It's so slow right now. Guess what? Stay away from that guy or that girl because they're negative, right? I had that in my old industry. Right? We call them they would rearrange their desks all day long and they wouldn't get on the phone, right? They were experts at moving paper, right? Same thing in the real estate industry. You're going to get those negative Nellies, right? The dinosaurs in the industry, right? They don't use social media. They don't care about branding, right? And the market's just terrible. Well, stay away from those people because they're an albatross and they'll bring you down. Be positive. Stay around positive people. People that make you feel good, right? And if you make someone feel good, it makes you feel good in turn, right? Karma is the best. So I also think that there is a definite 6-month lagging effect to this crazy interest rate moves that we've seen in the last 12 months. And the perfect candidate is what happened with SVB Bank, right? It started last year, but it took almost 6 to 9 months for it to pop, right? So I think there's more things to happen. But I do think we're in the interest rate cycle If you're thinking about, remember, knowledge is power. So if you're thinking about, chatting with your clients about the interest rate cycle that we are in, and you want to put it into a baseball analogy, I think we're in the 7th inning stretch. Okay. We're in the 7th inning stretch. We got a couple more innings to go. And I think what's happened will now be that there won't be extra innings, right? I think after the next, 2 or 3 Fed meetings, they're going to raise rates again, maybe pause for a couple of months. And then I think 2024, we'll have signs of a recession in the 3rd and 4th quarter, and then we'll come out of it even stronger. We got an election year. We got a lot of fireworks flying in 2024. And I think that all of the noise you hear about interest rates, and the slowdown in the economy will be in the rear view mirror. And I think that is something that in my best guesstimate, in my experience, I think that stuff will be in the rearview mirror in the 1st quarter of 2024. So stay focused, keep doing deals. Another thing that, if you look back at the last 90 days, maybe you got a side hustle, right? Maybe you're doing something around your real estate business, around your luxury real estate business that makes sense, which could be a natural addition to your practice. So, I'm a big believer in listening to my clients, right? And if you're listening to this podcast and you live outside of the state of Florida, our market here is very seasonal. So our clients leave for the summer. And when you're investing $5, $10, $15, $20 million in a home, right? And you're away for 4 or 5 months, someone needs to look over that property to make sure someone needs to make sure that things are working primarily in everything around the house and inside, right? So here's a perfect example. I have a good friend who bought a house from me, $5 million house, right? And he was away for the summer and he didn't have someone watching over the property. And his maid came in to just kind of check on the house on the inside once a month or whatever it was. And she actually flushed the toilet and she left. And that toilet ran for 2 weeks, overflowing. $300,000 in damage to his property, to first floor, right? Imagine that. Try running your toilet for 3 weeks and let it overflow. Nobody there to check it. Went up into the walls, up into the electric panels, a absolute fucking disaster. So, also listening to my other clients, they're also thinking like, there's a lack of service, trustworthy, professional, insured, bonded to look over our properties. So what I did in the 1st quarter, and I thought about this, and I did it the right way. Is I just launched, and if you go to my website, if you go to my Facebook or my Instagram, you'll start to see I just started posting about it, and we're meeting with some people actually today, is I launched a Nash Luxury Home Watch Concierge. And I have an awesome business owner who recently sold his company, 30 years in the community, unbelievably trustworthy, captain's license. And he's going to run that division of Nash Luxury for me to keep an eye on these properties that we sell to our clients, and also to keep an eye on these properties for other customers that may not have transacted with us from a real estate standpoint. Right, looking over that property both from the outside and the inside once a week, so there's no issues, so you can enjoy your time away. Right? Enjoy your time away. And, one of the things I always say is, manage the property. Don't let the property manage you. And that's what happens. People get overwhelmed with this stuff. So we will give you peace of mind. I'm really excited to launch this new business. And it's a perfect division for Nash Luxury Real Estate. So if you're out there listening and you think you got a great potential add-on to what you do, right? Don't be afraid. Do it. Right? Do it. I've always been a dreamer, but I've been a dreamer that make dreams come true. Right? Some people dream and they don't act. I act on my dreams, right? Ever since I was a little kid. If I want to get something done, I am telling you right now, I will get it done. Whether I'm listing your property, whether I'm helping you find a property, whatever it is, when I put my mind to it, I get it done. So everybody that's listening, right? Whatever you're thinking about for the next quarter, right? If you're thinking about it, your first instincts are usually correct. Well, guess what? Do it. Get it done. So that was one of my highlights in the first quarter, right? That I'm proud of. I'm not, banging on my chest and saying, ooh, look what I did. I'm just excited to launch a new business, and I'm excited to bring it out into the marketplace here in our community. And I think it'll be successful, right? And guess what? I won't quit until it is successful. And I will watch over it like a baby, right? And I will make sure that the clients understand the value that this new business will deliver. And it goes the same as our luxury real estate business, right? So you got to believe, right? If you don't believe, nothing happens. So be a believer. Be a believer in your own stuff. And clients will appreciate it. And all the clients that I ran it by, they were like, oh my God, that's amazing. We definitely want to talk to Joe about working with him and having him look over our magnificent property, when we're not around, right? Be your eyes and ears when you are not around. How many people worked on some new marketing initiatives for 2023? We talked about that, right? Double down on your marketing. Business might be a little slow, but now's the time you got to double down, right? A third of the agents left. It just makes common sense, right? You're going to get more exposure in the hands with less, part-time tour guide realtors, looking over your shoulder, calling on your clients, right? So, at the end of the day, it makes sense. Double down. Create a branded digital magazine on the things that you're doing. I just did it, right? You'll see it on my website probably in about a week. 37 pages of incredible properties that I have sold in the last 12 months. Maybe 12 to 18 months. I threw some real gem trophies in there. But it was a value proposition for potential new clients. I put it in print form. I used incredible high-resolution photos. I spent the extra money on the papering, so the paper quality is world-class, because you got to invest in yourself and your business, right? Don't do anything half-ass in this business. And I see a lot of half-ass shit. And to me, I just love it, because I just say, great, this is awesome, because it makes my brand stand out more. And you could be doing the same thing. And if you're already doing it, kudos and cheers to you, right? And if you haven't done something to highlight your accomplishments, right, that, we'll do it for next quarter, right? Do it for next quarter. Make that digital brochure. Make that print, right? So I'm super fired up about it. It's not a brag piece. It's an accomplishment piece. Remember, branding is an ongoing process. Every day you are working on your brand, even if it's not something that you have to spend money on. Just being in the community and helping is branding, right? So if you're listening and you might not have the budget to go out and make these 37, whatever, it's okay. Make a one-pager, right? Get it out there. Post it on social media. Let people know what you're doing. And at the end of the day, like I always say, good things will happen. So we're wrapping up the first quarter. I'm sure everybody listening to this podcast had some amazing triumphs in the first quarter. And if there's something that you're thinking about that let you down, business is slow, okay, well, business might be slow for a lot of people. But just look at it as positive. When business is slow for you, there's only one way to think. It's going to pick up. So be prepared, right? Don't turn it off. Turn it up, right? So with that, we're going to wrap it up. I'm super excited that everybody's here listening and downloaded this podcast. Episode 17, I'm super proud. If anybody has any questions, fire them away. I've been getting some awesome questions from some great realtors all over the country. And I really appreciate everyone that's listening to this podcast. Hopefully it keeps you motivated, fired up, and help you with your business. I am here to help. I love it. Keep doing deals. Keep smiling. Take care of your clients. Thank you again for listening to this podcast, wherever you're listening to it. On Apple, on Spotify, share with your friends. Give me a great rating. Leave a review. And again, coming to you unscripted, all fired up. I love you. Go out there and do some deals, and I'll talk to everybody next week.